Andy's Auto Advice here, bringing you daily tips for your whips. As a car aficionado myself, for the last 15 years, I have been fully encompassed and engaged with the car community and just obsessed over everything cars. I remember being 12 years old and going to check the mail to see if that monthly issue of Motor Trend or Car and Driver had come in. I would literally ask for a subscription to Car and Driver for Christmas. And I would read each one of those issues from front page to back cover every single month. I knew pretty much everything you could know about a vehicle by the time I was like 13 years old. I was taking engines out of go karts. I was doing all this stuff, wrenching out in my dad's shop. At a very young age, just completely engulfed in this mechanical wonder we call cars. And that brings me to this point. A lot of people I notice are kind of like backing or stand behind a certain brand like Toyota. And I just need your perspective because as a lifelong car enthusiast, like people say, well, just buy a Toyota, it's reliable. And in their mind, that makes perfect sense, right? It's like that's all you need. You need simplicity, reliability, and a budget friendly vehicle. And I completely agree, but I don't necessarily relate. It makes sense in my mind, but in my heart as a car guy, it's like, yes, but no, because that's not what I'm trying to achieve. For me, it's a hobby, it's a passion, it's not just a tool to get me from one place to another. There's so much behind it where driving a Camry every day is just not feasible in my own mind. But it makes sense because there's people whose hobby is, sportsman stuff, hunting, camping, and that just doesn't intrigue me or excite me in any way. So it makes sense with vehicles as well. But yeah, it'd be interesting for people to give their perspective, just regular people, on how they view transportation, like their car or a certain brand of car, and why they feel the way they feel about it. Because for me, mentally, yes, it makes sense, but in my heart of hearts, like, would I ever just go out and buy a Camry because it's practical? I just couldn't fathom doing that. I would be miserable in that car every single day. But for the majority of people, I do recommend it because the majority of people are not car enthusiasts and they're not driven by this passion for cars. So, yeah, for the majority, yes, do it because it does make sense and it is practical. But mentally, for me, I do this halfway for a living at this point. So, I am a true car nut at heart.